Alright, I know it's been a while since I've written a review, but this time I kind of wanted to try something different. I wanted to try making, like, an unscripted review. So anyways, the game that I'm going to be reviewing is The Penguins of Madagascar. Dr. Blowhole returns again for Kinect on Xbox 360. This game's obviously based on the TV show on Nickelodeon, which I've never seen in my life. Also, let me say one more thing. More than likely, you're going to hear me say that this game was made for kids a lot, because whenever I find something bad or lazy about the game, that's probably the only excuse I can come up with, because the game was made for kids. While we're on that subject, let me start off by saying, this game is really, really easy. Yeah, there are two difficulty settings, but I didn't really notice a difference between them. I mean, I just don't really see the purpose of having different difficulties if they're not, going to make the game easier or harder. Doesn't really make a difference, though. Now, oddly enough, the game starts off on the hard difficulty by default. Now, keep in mind that the first time you start a new game, it doesn't take you to, the main menu. It just throws you right into the game. I didn't know that there was a main menu until my second startup, and I didn't think to pause the game at all to just exit out. It just never came to me, though. So the game has a story, but I honestly don't really care. I kind of stopped giving a shit about the story, when I finished, the third level or something, because I couldn't really understand what everybody was saying, especially King Julien, who has, one of the heaviest lisps I've ever heard, and said, you know what, fuck it, I just want to play the damn game. And yes, there is an option to turn on subtitles, but like I said, I didn't know that there was an options menu until I played, halfway through the game. And then I turned it off and started it back up, and, oh, there it is right there. Anyways, I have a problem with the cutscenes in the game. Some of them, they're just in there for giggles. Others are just cameo appearances, I guess, from the TV show or from the Madagascar movies. I can't really say for sure since I've never actually seen any of the movies or the TV show. But some of the characters that you see in this game, you only see them, one time, and then they're, never mentioned again. I mean, some of those scenes don't even have, a big impact on the story. Some of them. They're just in there, I guess, to keep the kids motivated to keep playing, because, the game was made for kids. But, also, some of the animations and the cutscenes just seem lifeless. There's this one scene where Julien is just staring off into space. I mean, I thought that was kind of creepy. And there are times when the characters' lips don't really match what they're saying, they never close their mouths in some parts. It just seems so unrealistic. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about what you actually do in the game. So the game is played okay, so basically you're always running forward, and your only movement during this process is just leaning left or right to, strafe your character left or right, and then jumping to, well, make your character jump. And along the way, you'll find some, action poses, I guess. There are times when you have to, make a jump over an obstacle, or, a gliding jump, over a large gap. You also balance on beams, form, an X with your arms and legs to get through a hole. And most of these poses that you make to complete these challenges, they're really basic. Easy enough for a kid to do. But, yeah, most of the time you're just leaning left and right and jumping. It kind of gets repetitive after a while. At least I found it repetitive. Along the way, you'll find these partially hidden chameleons. They kind of act as collectibles in the game. Collecting them all, I didn't really notice anything unlocking. I guess they're just kind of there, just so you can find them. And some of them are actually quite hard to find. I mean, they're easy enough to reach. I mean, it took me a few plays to find them. Like, some would be hiding behind pillars, others would just be, like, located out in the open. But yeah, I guess they're just there to be there. Also along the way, while you're playing, you'll end up, like, doing these little puzzles or challenges. Like, you'll be encountering these trivia questions. There's this, like, matching game where you have to, like, match the character with an object, which seems kind of random. There's, like, a maze, which isn't really a maze. It's just taking an object to another place without bumping into any walls. And there's also this throwing target challenge where you aim at something, it locks on, and then you just throw your arm forward. Okay, I think I may have said this earlier, but this game is easy. It's so easy that I beat the entire game literally without breaking a sweat. No joke. Even if it's just jumping multiple times. You don't have to do that much jumping in the game. But hey, the game's for kids. I mean, what do you expect? Okay, at the end of every level, it shows you a single picture of you playing the game. It's usually going to be a picture of you doing one of those action jumps or poses or whatever. I kind of figured that it had a purpose, like, later on, or maybe if they're, like, stored in a database or something, but no, once you see that one photo, you never see it again. I mean, it would have been nice to have, like, some place to store the photos, like, kind of like Connected Ventures. Okay, glitches. Yes, there are glitches in this game. Like, there's one that I found on accident. When you start up a level, or like when you reach the end of a cutscene, you'll fall through the level and it kind of screws you over, and you end up having to start the whole level all over again. It only happened twice, though, so it's not really that big a loss. And I had already beaten the game one time. I encountered these glitches during my second playthrough. The second glitch, I kind of found this one on my own. Like, if you hit an enemy at a specific angle, you can keep attacking that enemy as many times as you want. It will never die, and it'll just keep giving you points. Like, I finished the last level using this glitch, and I finished with over 500,000 points, which usually isn't supposed to go that high, I guess. I don't know if this is a glitch, but sometimes, like, at the end of a cutscene or at the end of an action, it'll just start this countdown or something. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but it just kind of pops up out of nowhere. Usually I encounter it, like, in the second chapter of the game. But sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. I mean, what's the deal with that? Either there's a countdown or there's not. Make up your minds, guys. Okay, minigames. Yeah, there's 2 different minigames. The first minigame is the King Julien dance party. There are 2 modes to this game. The first one is called Strike a Pose. Whenever there's some kind of gesture that pops up, like on the right side of the screen, you just make that gesture. And the second mode is red light, green light style play. In that mode, you just basically go crazy all over the place, and then when you see a red light, you freeze. Well, you know how the red light, green light game works. And the second minigame, which I really don't think is a minigame, it's the King Julien critique. All it is just taking a single picture, and then Julien says something stupid like, "I love you," or something. But again, there's no place to, like, store these pictures. You only take one and then forget about them, basically. I mean, I honestly don't really see the purpose in taking pictures if there's no way to look back at them. So my final verdict on this game, well, it's really easy, like I said before, because, you know, it's made for kids, and I think the kids will really enjoy this one. But everybody else maybe not so much due to its repetitiveness. Now, if I had to give it, like, a score, I'd probably say, like, a 62, I guess. I don't know, I guess this is just one of those games where I'm not supposed to go into a lot of detail, because, you know, the game's made for kids. So yeah, if you're looking for something for the little ones to play, I would recommend renting this one at least. Out of all the Kinect games that I've played, this one has to be by far the easiest. So yeah, if you're just looking for something to keep the kids busy for a while, then I'd suggest checking this one out. And I guess that's really all I have to say about it, really. I mean, the game is short, simple, so I guess till next time.